My father passed away last year around this time. All right. My father passed away last year around this time. It was actually the 20th of April. Last year, Easter or Resurrection Sunday fell on the 21st. It was a crazy day. So I had planned to go to the hospital where my dad was residing. He had been there for almost, maybe about a month. And I took him in because I could see that he was having some breathing complications. And so Dad had issues before where he would have to go in and out the hospital. And he always made it back out. He would go from the hospital to a nursing facility. And so I was convinced that he would be back home. Okay. So when I got a call from the hospital saying that they would prefer him to stay in a nursing facility, or what they have at the VA is similar to hospice. Well, it is like a hospice, but they'll take care of him within the hospital. And I felt more comfortable with that. Because hospice, that term is like, you know, what are you trying to tell me? Are you trying to tell me my dad is not going to make it? You know, nobody wants to hear hospice. I worked in a nursing home, so yeah. Anywho, let me pause for a minute. I was depressed. I didn't realize I was depressed until I realized I was depressed. I have been caregiver for my father since about 2012. And it was a lot of work, but it didn't become more strenuous. Strenuous, is that the word? Until my life started asking me questions like, Crystal, what have you done with your life? What have you accomplished, right? And so, fast forward to last year, where I decided I wanted to start working because I wanted to add value. I wanted to bring in money, right? I wanted to feel like I'm doing something. Right? The tears. Ooh. And so I got a job. I felt good. I felt like, look, it's been since 2009 where I officially had a job. Then I went to school, hair school in 2012. And then right after that, I had to take care of my father. So for me to say, look what I was able to accomplish, it wasn't to put out there, you know, as worldwide news, but it was something that, look, I did this. And it was the worst thing that I could have done, but also it was the most necessary thing that I needed to do. You know how you have this thought, like, well, what if this happens and I have to take care of this on my own? I began to have those thoughts, like, I gotta prepare for my future. You know, my dad's income, while it provided for me, my father, and my child, I was thinking, like, what if something did happen? I had the thoughts, but I did not want to hear those thoughts. And so that was a part of why I wanted a job as well. But when I say I would live in a shoe, I would live in a box just to have spent more time with my father, because had I known he wouldn't return from the hospital, but in fact he would pass away there. And I want to say unexpectedly, because he always came back. He always bounced back. He always said, I'm with you, baby, you know? And I was supposed to have went to the hospital this day. This is crazy. Any time Dad has been in the hospital or the nursing facility, I push through. I always make sure I'm there every day so you can see my face no matter what time it is, no matter the amount of time I spent there. But this day, I had planned to go. It was a gloomy day. I said, all right, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go get some stuff to do my hair, and I'm gonna go to my mom's house and wash some clothes, and then I'm gonna go to the hospital. I was trying to do my hair, y'all. My hair was acting crazy. It would not work out. I was braiding it. I was trying to, it was horrible. Then, you know, I'm talking to my mom, then I'm bringing clothes in. Then she asked me about, have I talked to somebody? And I was like, no. I decided to call them. So all of this, you know, is happening this same day where I was like, well, I'm going to still go. I'm going to still go. Because I always, that's what I do. I don't care what time it is. I'm going to still go. I ended up on the phone with this person, and we were just talking about life and what do you want out of life and what is your plans for life and how do you see, you know, just trying to encourage her. But prior to that happening, me and my mom were talking, and we were in her living room, and I was bringing clothes in, and she had these cameras set up outside her house, and I was bringing this big bag of clothes in, and I was like, she's gonna say something. She was like, what you think you're doing? You think you better wash all them clothes? So my thing was, let me grab this bag and hurry up and run past the camera. It had started raining. Her step, it wasn't a step, it was like a wooden patio type thing going into her house. And so I grabbed the bag, I was running, and I was in the air. I went up and I went back, and I fell on my back with the bag on top of me. My first instinct was like, did I break something? This is horrible, and do I need to go to the hospital? It hurted like crazy. But then I literally laid on my back, looked up, and realized her cameras are right there, and so she probably would see this later. So I said, well, let me just laugh it off. Ha ha ha. Literally, I started laughing, but it became a natural, real laugh. And the rain is hitting my face. I'm laying on my back. My tailbone is in pain. And the rain is falling on my face. And I lay there for, it felt like 30 minutes, but it might have been like a complete 60 seconds before I moved. My phone would not turn on. I would charge it. It would not hold a charge. I would continue to switch out chargers. It would not turn on. It was probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock. Somewhere around there, because my son was at his friend's house. And I asked my son, was he ready prior to my phone turning off? Was he ready for me to come get him? Because I had planned, I'll go get my son and then we'll go to the hospital. My phone wouldn't hold a charge. I couldn't contact my son because his friend's number, friend's number, I couldn't contact any of them because I didn't have my contacts because my phone wouldn't turn on. I ended up sitting on my mom's couch, hoping that the phone would hold a charge. I ended up falling asleep. So I didn't go up to the hospital. I didn't go get my son. And the next day was Resurrection Sunday. So let me get up early. Let me go get my son. And we're going to go to the hospital. I went to get my son. Had to come home for a minute, and then we were headed up to the hospital to celebrate with my father. Before we could leave, 2 sheriffs would come to my house, sent by the VA, and they would tell me the VA was trying to contact me between 7 and all night, between 7 p.m. and some other time, throughout the night. Because James Butler had passed away. That's my daddy. What do you mean? I was supposed to go see him. We were on our way. And my son was in the living room. As I opened the door, I just fell to the floor. And my son, all I hear him saying is, why? No. And I was so helpless. I was filled of guilt. I was filled of shame. I was filled of hurt. I was filled of anger. I was filled of, why didn't I just go up there that morning, And there's no way to comfort yourself. There's no way to find comfort in something you cannot help. You are helpless. So I held my son. We cried. Somehow I got some energy. I had to do all the preliminaries, But what's crazy? That Friday, I didn't go up there Saturday. But Friday was some kind, oh my God. Friday was some kind of emotion for me. because I was in that hospital room and I seen the lethargicness of my father. I seen it and I'm like, this ain't the end. My daddy gonna bounce back. He always bounce back. But I could not stop wailing. Like tears would fill my heart and they would eventually come out of my eyes. And that Friday I would pray. I would pray with my father. And even though he wasn't as responsive as he normally would be, we would pray. And I would say, Dad, you hear me? And he would shake his head. Ooh, 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 ooh. So he would respond. And we would say the Lord's Prayer. And we would repent. And I would leave out of there. Some part of me said to do a baptism, like to get some water from the sink and to put it on his head. I didn't do it. I don't know what I did. But I thought it. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And as I left, you know, the nurse was like, he's I don't know. He said something in the space of, he'll be okay. You know? And if I known I would not see my daddy alive again, I would not have left that hospital. I would have stayed. You know, it's a lot. And as I'm thinking about this right now, ooh, Holy Spirit. Friday, you know, I'm not making my dad Jesus, you know. He's not, you know, the son, but from Friday to Saturday to Sunday, I don't... Friday, Good Friday. Saturday, you know, the crucifixion. And on Sunday, he got up. Wow, okay. I know for sure my dad is with the Father, so I find rest in that. And that is nothing but the Lord that gives me that peace. It took a long time. I don't know how I know how I made it through with God, but I physically don't know how I was able to continue. My daddy, that's my daddy, you know? And he would bounce back. And this time he wasn't there. He wasn't in that body. There was a body, but he wasn't there. And I had to let go. And all the while, you know, I'm thinking, well, I need to get a job. I need to find a way. Eventually, I'm going to have to, you know, if Dad does, you know, whatever could happen, if he doesn't live to see tomorrow, you know, it was just those thoughts that would come to my mind that would say, I'll have to take care of my son and not putting it all together. Like, this could be it, you know. God was preparing me, and I don't want to say I was blindsided, but I wasn't ready, you know. And I do believe God gave me that Friday. He gave me that to spend with my dad. He gave me that time to spend with him and to see the response of my father that one last time. And for the hospitals to be calling me and my phone not working. It was working. I was on it until about 7:30, whatever. And I didn't hear from them until the next day, which would be Sunday. I was messed up, y'all. I was jacked up. And I had to push through. It would, months would, I would return to work eventually. And I had got this phone. And it came with a protector, a screen protector. And I ain't never had this kind of screen protector. It was like the Gorilla Glass, whatever, screen protector, whatever it's called. And what would happen, I would be at work. And I didn't have my case yet. So I had it on the table at work. And I wasn't paying attention and it would fall. and I had just got the phone, and it had shattered. The screen, the screen had shattered, and I was like, dang, why did I have this over here, you know? So I was upset, you know, paid a pretty penny, and I would find myself going to the phone fix place, and wait, didn't I have a case? I think I did have a case. Case or no case? I don't know. Whatever, this screen protector was so smooth over my phone. I didn't have a case. It was so smooth over my phone that it looked just like the glass. And I would take it to the phone fix place, and he would say, I asked him how much would it cost to fix my screen because I broke it. And so he would look at it, he would examine it, and he would say, oh, let me see. And then he got ready to pull the screen protector up, and I'm looking like, I thought he just did a miracle. Like, what? The screen protector was glass, and so the screen protector had broke, but the phone was still in place. I'm about to get churchy for a minute. Once he lifted up that screen protector, and he showed me that the phone was still intact, but the screen protector had shattered. All I could do was say thank you and rejoice and say, oh my God, thank you. I said thank you so many times, like, you know, he had done this great miracle, but he just showed me that it wasn't damaged, and it was still intact. And I was so thankful. I would get in my car. I didn't cry in there, but I would get in my car, and the Lord will reveal to me that though I feel broken, though I feel like my life would never be the same because my dad is not here, he would tell me, you may be broken, but you are not shattered. Your situation, you may be feeling like you are incomplete. You have no purpose. You have no sanity, but you are not shattered. The pieces still have a place to go to. The format, the structure is still there. You can live through this. We can get you together. Those broken pieces, give it to me, and I will heal you of all of what looks like it has no way to come back together. He will formulate something that I didn't understand could even happen. And I would rejoice even more. And I would call my mom. I would go in my mom's house, and I would say, Mom,